the cross hand touching first. That is a different thing. Technically, in terms of what we're going to do, that's a number 3. It's not wrong, and it happens often if you're here and the guy's attacking. Then this is easy to have happen. But if we're face to face, and I'm here, getting this all the way across to that, it's too slow. He's going to be in and out. Right. So what I need to do is just be in. And I don't really care where in his strike this was. It could have been back out already, because I'm not dealing with it. I'm there. It's my line. And then the trap is extra. Boom. If this is still here, great. If it's gone, this is striking. If I don't, when you get into the Atemi Waza stuff, the basic rule of thumb is if you're not feeling something here, you're going to the center with a strike. So if this is here, I'll trap it. If it's already going away from me, this is going for the center. There's really very little in Aikido that's attack specific, because you don't know what the attack's going to be. Okay? So we train very specifically. You know, it's like, oh, we're doing Shominski, Munetsuki, Kotegaeshi. That's how you train your basics. But one of the problems with sort of people of sort of intermediate level skill is they sort of have, it's almost like a computer program. They sort of have a if then, you know, if A then B. Oh, but if it's C then I'll do D. A real fight is so fast, you can't do that. So it's really all about owning the center. You own the space, you own the line. And you don't really know what the other guy's doing. Okay, so when I'm doing these numbered attacks, I mean these numbered responses, there's still, you know, kind of that if A then B kind of thing. It's really not. Josh is standing there. Do I know that he absolutely has to do that linear attack to my face? No, he could come low. Well, yeah, he could come with that hand, but right now we're not dealing with that. Just assuming we're still dealing with that hand. It could be low. It also could be an uppercut. No, like a real uppercut, like a boxing type uppercut. And so if he does an uppercut, this will not cut the line. So I have to make sure that I'm really going into the center, because I don't know. This is just like sword, where I'm putting my sword on the line. And if his sword's on the line, it'll be deflected. If his sword's someplace else, I don't care, because I'm sticking him. This is exactly that same mentality. So I'm right there. See, so this didn't really deflect him. But because of this, he's getting hit. And then this would probably, instead of turning into Ikkyo, would be the Kotegaeshi, because that's how it came together. I'm not going, if he throws the uppercut, I will do Kotegaeshi. And if he throws, I'm going to take the center. And then with the Atemi on the strike, that's what begins to cut the flow of their ki, so that you have a moment to look at, like, oh, where are we? Oh, I know that. That's Kotegaeshi. Okay? If everybody's up here doing fast and furious, until that Atemi kind of cuts somebody's flow, you're not going to, I mean, you're going to go, oh, that was Kotegaeshi. It's already gone. It's too fast. And you can see that when we do some of the, we'll get to doing some of the Kali flow drills again that I've done with people, the Hubud. And when that gets going fast, you start to see that there's no way you're going to snag something out of a quick flow like that until somehow you create a little bubble. You know, and there's a Japanese term for cutting their ki. And that's what I need to do. And so this is the beginning of how to do that. We're going to enter in, and all of these, the guy is getting hit at the instant that you would have been hit. That's the key. So at the instant Josh was expecting to have that hit, exactly the same moment he's taking a hit. This isn't a 1, 2 at all. It's on the first beat. Okay? So let's look at number 2. And since I do these off of boxing type, Eric, hop on. I do these off of boxing style attacks. So the way I teach people usually is off a jab, which is your front hand just coming out It's a linear attack. And in boxing, this is extremely fast. This is the one that all Aikido people have a terrible time with because they think they can grab the hand. And they're here going for Kodagaish. The hand is long gone, and you're getting hit again. Okay? This is, if you're dealing with boxers who are not going to overcommit, they're going to sit out here, reach in, and be gone back into their own space. The best training for Arimi that you can have is working with one of those guys because they don't overcommit at all. In fact, they undercommit. So if you think you're going to be able to do your stuff, you have to really understand you have to take that space, not try and grab things. Okay? So number 2, same hand, still touches first, but now it's doing a brush by. And the easiest, this is definitely not in any way, shape, or form trying to interfere. It's not even trying to push it away. The way it was described to me by the guys at the police academy who had a very nice set of, I mean, Sensei used to have us doing these things. And we'll practice those at some point. But a real good visualization is fix your do. So he comes in and I'll fix my do. While that's happening, the other hand's going in. So on number 2, you have the outside hand doing an outside to inside deflection, and the inside hand striking on the inside. Okay? Bang. And so part of the being able to do this is understanding what the timing is. We've talked about this before. Understanding where the instant is that he has to go. If he's there ready to attack me, right now he's a little far away. When I hit this point, he's got to go or back up. Because if he doesn't, then I'm getting too close for him to respond when I fire. So if I know when that place is that he really needs to fire, then I don't have a reaction time. Okay? Does that make sense? If I know when that moment is, then I'm not reacting to it. If I let him pick that moment, like I'm here, and I just let him dance around and then suddenly, or do all the faking and moving that they do in boxing, and I let him do that, it's very difficult to figure out. That's why they move all the time. They don't stand here and then go, because that's actually easy to pick up, because when you start from a standing position and then start moving, your movement receptors are getting a ton of information. That's why in Kendo, everything's jiggling. And in boxing, everything's jiggling. You watch a boxer, everything's moving. So all that information that's going to your brain from your movement receptors is up there, and your brain has a heck of a lot harder time figuring out which of those movements is the one that's really coming. Okay, that's why nobody stands still like this. This is martial arts. Real fighters, they want to make it hard for you. Okay? So what I need to do is not let him do that to me. I'm going to draw the attack and move in. And if I know when it is, then it's really easy to be here. Bam. Bam. Okay? Try it. What should happen is from this. I'm moving in. And then as the attack, boom, I should be here. Okay? This is not, this starts to look a little too Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Remember the toy? And you'd just sit here and go, and they go until one of the heads popped off. I don't want to be out there. I want to take the space. If I get here, it's very hard for him to throw another attack. If I'm out here, we're symmetrical here. I hit him, but he can throw that. Oh my goodness, I'm taking way more punishment on this than I would like. Okay? If I can get here, I've probably displaced him a little bit. And now technique can happen. I can start going for takedowns or locks. I could be here, turn into an elbow lock. There's lots of stuff once I'm in. So don't treat this as a hand technique. This is happening while I move. Okay? See if you can incorporate that. I'm not doing precisely that, but in an Aikido Atemi, which is a non-rotational punch type thing, you want it to go in and come up the front. This is essentially a terrain hugging missile that comes up under the radar. If it comes through, if you're doing this, he will probably be able to do that pretty successfully. Which I'd really like is that. See? He didn't really quite get it. It's really difficult to block it once it gets here. So even if he gets his hand on it, it doesn't have a lot of juice, and it's hard for him to deflect it. Whereas if he can get it out any place from here out, he can start responding if he actually successfully gets it. So this is brushing him by. I would like to be looking, I would like to be right here, looking him in the face. And this should come up underneath them. Bam! And that popped him up off his, if I really hit him with that, it's really rocking him. So you're getting some nice kazushi out of this. This is, a lot of this is how you use Atemi for kazushi. We don't do this all the time, okay? Because we're practicing and we're learning how to get these amazing things on the touch. But if I were out on the street and if I really just absolutely had to make sure that I survived, I'm not going for the artistic version. I'm going for the one that I know is going to put this guy down. And smacking him in the head definitely gets a really nice kazushi, okay? So, bang, bang, okay? I'm in, and this is coming up. And if nothing else, from the standpoint of our Aikido, Atemis that rise like this raise their attention. It makes them light, okay? Things that come down on them, settle them. You know, so if he sees this kind of thing, he actually tends to set. Things that come up like this, it's the Atemi version of in and up. So it's exactly the same spiral. And long before it hits him and knocks his head back, his attention is picking up. Yeah, see, that's the normal. That's the normal response. So even if I'm not hitting him with this, if I am using it just to set up technique, I've made him go off his base a little, okay? Whereas if it comes straight at the face, it tends to actually set him onto his base. That makes sense? Okay, a little more. Technically, this isn't really trying to move around separate from me. What's really happening is I'm touching here and I'm moving past it, just like the sword stuff, Kumitachi number 10, which we've worked on. So it looks like this is moving, but it's mostly the hands here and I'm moving in behind it. So the less movement, because the problem with moving your hands is, what if he throws that out really fast and pulls it back? If the hand's moving and you're not, you just lost it. But if there's the contact point. I'm moving in behind it. So yeah, it's brushing by, but it's because I moved. Okay? And then, bam! So if I get in here, even if this didn't hit him, and look at what I've got, even if it's still straight, I'm taking his space away. I have all these openings, and he doesn't have as many. Okay? So, you know, my options are getting greater and greater, and his are getting fewer and fewer, if that makes sense. But this is definitely neutral pivot point stuff. Okay? Even the first one was really very much, I'm not moving the arm a lot. I'm moving me. This is just rotating. And as usual, this is the source of the power. Bam. Okay? Let's do number 3. Number 3, the cross hand meets first. So a way to look at this, if I were doing this in boxing and I wanted to draw this, this is one where I wouldn't do the rope-a-dope. I'd give them, the way I get this if I want it, is I do a guard like this. So I put that hand lower, right on the center line. So they're going to punch over it. That's it. And it just picks up. Not unlike sword, rising deflection. Okay, number 3. So a lot of times they won't punch over it. They'll try and grab it and punch over it with the other, and that also sets this up. Because if he grabs it to do that and it goes this way, it's still the same thing. I don't care. I actually like it if they grab, because then I can do this, and that'll turn a boxer white. Because they don't do that stuff. And the first time you throw a Nikyo on a guy, if he's unwise enough to actually grab that hand, how many black belt magazine covers have there been where this is being pushed down and that guy's coming over the top of his strike with that grimace? Gotta be hundreds of covers. But the same basic relationship. The guy was doing covering the line, so he gets rid of the barrier and comes over the top. I can set that up. So now this hip releases, and this is the Atemi. This is also going to be the kind of thing that would happen if I were facing here, because maybe I threw Josh when this guy's coming, and now I'm rotating this way. There's a lot of ways this will happen. So cross hand deflects from outside to inside. Same hand is striking now on the outside. Can be to the elbow, usually it's the ribs here. Okay? Boom. Give it a try. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4 is cross hand inside deflection, inside to outside, with the same hand inside strike. This one is pretty good, definitely riskier than the others, because you notice the other ones put me on the outside. So I have a built-in, this is like Sensei at camp was talking about Kotegaish. This is your protection against that punch. So anytime you're on the outside, if that punch tries to come, it's much harder for him to hit you. So it's a safer. But there's sometimes when it's appropriate to be on the inside. And it's especially surprising for people. It's like he throws that punch, bam, I'm in here. And look what I am. So then that sets up all sorts of really cool traps and things. So sometimes inside is okay. But it's definitely the riskier option always. In any of our Aikido techniques, Irimi Tenkan, you screw it up, this is you're undefended. Okay? That's why we're talking about the need to really catch their center when we did the Irimi Tenkan earlier, which was before you guys got here. Okay? Because that's the risky side, because you're right in front of that thing. So if you don't catch their center, they just hit you. Okay? Like they should anyway. So the number 4 is inside, inside. And then number 5 you can do off a linear attack, but it's really meant to be used off a hook. Which is what? Yokomanuchi. We do this all the time. Number 5 we do bread and butter for us. Okay? We don't typically do it off of boxing type hooks, but okay, there it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, still linear. 5 is the hook typically. That's 5. That covers most of what you need to know. And then what if they're coming low? Well, guess what? Okay? 1, if you're moving properly, you're still vacating the space, so you're not getting clobbered. Okay? Now, here's what I meant by you don't actually have the jab is a total convention just to allow you to train. It's just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all off the jab. What if I am going to respond with a number 1 and Josh doesn't throw the jab, he throws the cross? Straight. Straight at me. Yes. So, boom. Guess what? On that side, it's a number 5. So, you can be doing this off of one or the other. Okay, number 2, where I'm deflecting this way and here. If you aim with the other hand, that's a number 4. It's the same on the other side. They just are symmetrical techniques. So I can be what's taking me outside inside on this side. If you do the other one, is inside inside on this side. If he fooled me or he faked through the other one, it's still fine because I'm going to the center and taking the line. It'll just be technically it's a number 4 on that side. If that makes sense to you. Yes? You see what I mean? Okay. So it does. You can go in and go, this is going to be my response. I can kind of know that. Bam. And it doesn't matter which blow he did when I decide to do that, as long as I'm decisive about going in, clearing the space, and hitting him. Okay? So we only use the numbering system so you can memorize them and practice them. And then you can have this guy throw either one, fake one, throw the other, and you just go in and play with them. Okay? Like the number 3, What if he throws the other one? It's just there. It's the same motion. It just turns into basically that's a number 5. That makes sense? Okay, so it doesn't matter. Good, we're done.